It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and I am in Chula Vista at a favorite client's giving these entry planters a little TLC. They look a little tragic. What's happened is the soil has decomposed, as I talk to you about all the time. It's just been, these have been here for a decade, and the soil levels dropped so far. Um, the Aeoniums are too sparse. Some of the Sansevieria, as you can see, has kind of run amok and needs help. So I'm going to troubleshoot these beds. This, the Aeoniums were basically just kind of laid in there as cuttings. They're trying to root, but the soil level should have been raised before the plants were set back in. So that's a really, really easy fix. Also, there's a couple bromeliads in here too, which is great. But, I can sometimes be on the lazy side. These Sansevieria are so tough that I don't need to take those out. All I'm going to do is clean off the dead stuff because it looks a little ratty. Yeah, they're all in there pretty good. Oops. This one's doesn't look too great. All right. Sansevierias are not succulents, but they are succulent compatible in that their needs are very similar. They're quite drought tolerant, very, very tough plant, and have been a winner chicken dinner here in Chula Vista in these planters, because these get filtered sun, bright light. I mean, this is getting a little sun right now. It's rather late in the afternoon, but for the most part, this is pretty deep shade. So we had a challenge trying to get stuff to grow in these consistently until I tried the Sansevieria and the Aeonium combo. But every now and then, things just need a little fluffing. The soil that I'm using this is Miracle Grow potting mix, and the story behind it is I sent Hannah to the box store one day a few weeks ago to grab some soil for a pot project that we were doing, container project, and I wasn't specific. Typically, I buy the cheapest potting mix that there is, or whatever is on sale. She didn't get that memo and grabbed this Miracle Grow, which is kind of pricey. And with succulents, it's fine, but not really necessary. I do like to use a potting mix though, because it's clean and well composted. The garden soils in containers tend to leach a lot of dark matter out through the drainage holes and can stain your surfaces. So I would avoid garden soil in planters and stick with some type of actual potting mix. Cactus and Succulent mix is always obviously a great choice when working with cactus and succulents. And it's mostly sand and vermiculite and perlite and things that will enhance drainage and not retain water. So it's not loamy. There's nothing to leach out. They're fine. It's fine to use cactus and succulent mix in your pots. But yeah, the soil, I've done this over the last decade. I've probably done this 3 times. And I'm just packing the soil right on top of the Sansevieria because they're so tough and they don't care. And I just didn't want to go to the trouble of taking them all out and putting them all back in. It just didn't seem prudent or necessary. But it is really important that you pack the soil down well, because it will sink, won't it? And I got lucky with these, but if I had an expensive container or a really valuable plant that I had to extract before I could raise the soil level, it would be a different story. So do your due diligence. Remember, you can also put rocks or non-decompostables in the bottom of your pots just to take up space if you like. That's absolutely fine too. Good grief, this is taking so much dirt. I'm glad I brought a lot of soil. A little ASMR for you guys. Okay. I'm gonna come up right below the lip of this pot. Okay, that feels great. And now I can take and pop my plants back in. And I am actually going to plant these Aeoniums. They really weren't planted before. They were just kind of laid on top of the dirt. And I think they're just going to look better if I actually plant them. And remember with Aeoniums, they are summer dormant. I'm just, yanking off the dead underleaves. They are summer dormant, so don't work with them in the hotter months. Here in this part of Chula Vista, this has got a lot of coastal influence where we're at, and since we are primarily in the shade, I can really manipulate the Aeoniums anytime that I want. But be mindful of your microclimates and your exposures when working with these plants. All right, 10 minutes later and voila. So, turns out I did not have enough Aeonium despite bringing some from home. So I raided the yard and I pulled these bromeliads and I pulled this aloe out of the yard. So these should do us just fine. They are cuttings. And with, like I said, the mild temperatures and this dappled sunlight and bright light, all will be well. Our client does hand water these about once a month. So, easy peasy. Great little redo, really freshens up this area. While we're here, I thought I would show you a couple other things of interest in this yard, like these Crassula Ovadas that are here in the shaded area and have naturally kind of bonsaied due to the fact that they don't get full sun. I think this is their version of etiolation, which I happen to love. I think they're great. This euphorbia, both of these euphorbias, the crest is perfection. There's just not a mark on it. It is so incredibly happy here. And this guy, I have never seen a more perfect specimen. Not a single bit of rust on this plant that I can see. Just fabulous. Even the Euphorbia trigona rubra has maintained a lot of its color despite the fact that it doesn't get hardly any sun. So you win some, right? We will take it. Over here, the Ruchia, and I've planted Ruchia in this garden in the past, and for whatever reason it didn't do well, but it is sure thriving now. This was a little tapestry, and it's kind of grown out, but I love it. It just looks so pretty. Same with the Crassula undulata. A little shady, so it's not as compact as some are. It's a little more open and a little... it's just really interesting. I love it. And look at this little Calancoe Tomentosa. How gorgeous is this? I don't think I've ever seen one this size in captivity before. And over here, oh, well, yeah, in the stand of Fred Ives, how perfect is that? Right? And this little euphorbia is really, really going crazy. It sat here and pouted for about 3 years, and now it is just pupping and going crazy. Happy camper. Over here, this agave Mediopicta, I want, Greg, if you could come over here, I'll show you something that I think will be of interest. You may have seen this on your agaves where some of the underleaves look like they've been chewed through. See there? That, my friends, is snout weevil. And the reason the plant is still alive is I got it early. I treated it with Bare Tree and Shrub liquid systemic. And I was able to kill the weevils before they got to the meristem and destroyed the plant. So if you've got some bottom leaves with holes in them, that might be what's going on with your plants too. And yeah, I'm just kind of distracted because I'm looking at how this is growing. Look at that new growth. It's weird, isn't it? The leaves, like this. These tiny little leaves. It's almost like it wants to split.
They are splitting down below.
Yeah, Greg says it's splitting down below. It's just going to be interesting to see how this Mediopicta develops. This isn't supposed to pup, and it is. It looks like we've got a pup right here that's reverted back to just a solid blue Americana. So, yeah, you know, when we come in here to do their seasonal, this is a garden where we have a crew here once a month for general maintenance because it's a really big yard. But about once a year we come in with a bigger crew and just, you know, kind of tear into things that can't be accomplished in just a couple hours during the week. So that may be addressed. Check out the twins. This is just about the cutest thing I have ever seen. Look at these little baby barrels. I mean, really, I can't even with that. Is that the cutest? And then this Aloe Cameronii is stressed. Look at that red, red, red. Love it. I put this in as a cutting, and yeah, it's about as stressed as it can get. It's going to root and then start to turn a little greener, but meanwhile, we sure will enjoy it. All right, well, that's about all the time I have for today. Tomorrow I will be doing a little maintenance in La Mesa, and I'll take you along for that. Or wait, no, tomorrow's Wednesday, huh? We'll do a walkabout Wednesday tomorrow because I'll be alone on that maintenance and that'll be weird. So I will see you for walkabout Wednesday. And yes, Greg wanted me to point out the palm tree stump that we cored.
Which you can do.
Yeah, you can do this with your palm tree stumps. We cored it out about, 8 inches, and I stuck the little succulents in there. And this has been going for years. I mean, probably 10. It was when Adam was working with us, so it was at least 10 years ago. Crap, look, here's more Aeoniums. Oh, well, I really like the aloe that I put in that entryway planter, so that's okay. But yes, I digress. I will be here chewing your ears off for the next week if I don't shut up. So I will do that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thanks again for blowing up my Instagram, Laura Loves Succulents. I am loving your work, your pots, your projects. I mean, you guys are amazing, and I really do feel like we are kind of all in this together. So thank you for your comments, for your critiques. I'm here for all of it. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity in Chula Vista with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.